Well, what can I say? I'm right again. I'm not right all the time, but I'm right quite often. I picked my Patriots to upset the Bills, and they did. So here we are, another video talking about football. So like, share, and subscribe if you're new to the channel. And I gotta say, this might be the Patriots' best win, honestly, since Brady was there. Patriots won 23-20. Early on in this game, it was a defensive slugfest. 6-3 going into the half. It opened up a little bit in the third quarter. I remember the Patriots went up 20-10 at one point. There's a lot of fumbles in this game, a lot of sloppy play, a lot of penalties. It wasn't a pretty win, but a win's a win. Bills scored a touchdown to cut it to 2017. They got a field goal, 2020, and I knew. I'm starting to get that confidence in that kid, Drake May. They got the ball with 2 minutes left. He got him down the field, got him in field goal range. They nailed it. Just like I remember back in the day the Patriots used to always do. And they won the game 23-20. This moves the Patriots to 3-2, only a game behind Buffalo with the tiebreak in the division. I think they're definitely a viable playoff team. This moves the Bills down to 4-1. Still not bad. That's still the best record in the NFL. Nobody left is undefeated. The 72 Dolphins can pop the champagne. The Eagles lost earlier today versus the Broncos. They're riding a 12-game home winning streak. That came to an end. So those two victories there, those two upsets definitely changed the landscape a little bit. But the Bills and Lions are still my Super Bowl pick. Lions over Bills. That's not changed for me. I'm still a realist. I still think next year's the Patriots' year, but they could be ahead of schedule. Again, the Patriots got to clean up the penalties. Some of those penalties just extended drives. Gave the Bills a chance. Still got to clean up the fumbling. The fumbling's out of control. I thought the Bills brought their D game. So, again, if the Bills had brought anything above a C, they would have just won the game. So there's that, too. The Patriots brought at least their B game. And probably their A-plus defensive game. Because Josh Allen's a real good quarterback. Let's be honest. There's a reason he's the MVP. Stephon Diggs, we got to talk about him. He went nuts. It was a Stephon Diggs show. It was a Stephon Diggs revenge game. Just getting open, making catches, yards after catch, tiptoe out of bounds catches. It looked like prime Stephon Diggs out there. I mean, he was real hyped and ready for this game. He really took this one personal. So yeah, I'm just very happy about the win. Just incredibly impressed. I'm very happy that Mike Vrabel's the head coach of my Patriots. I'm very happy to have Vrabel there, and I'm very happy for Vrabel to get the win. There was a lot of winless teams today that won today in the NFL. I wanted to touch on that a little bit. We'll touch on a few of the other games, even though the title of the video is about the Patriots. We can still touch on a few other things while we're here. Saints got a dub today. Titans got a dub. Came back against the Cardinals. That was a shock. Man, the Chargers are looking bad right now. They've lost a couple games in a row after starting off hot. There's just injuries are piling up. They're not looking too sharp. I think the Chiefs were big winners today. Seeing the Bills lose, seeing the Chargers lose. Of course, I mentioned earlier, Broncos beating Philly. That was, I wouldn't say it's a huge shock. Philly was 3.5-point favorites. Broncos are looking good. They barely trailed all season before this game. The teams they've lost to have a great combined record. They lost to the Colts and the Chargers. Okay? And now they've beaten the Eagles. Got to take the Broncos serious. That AFC West race is going to get cooking real quick. Chiefs probably beat the Jags, and that would leave 3 teams in the West at 3-2. Raiders not in the mix, though. Raiders suck. Geno sucks. I kind of thought they'd be a little better than this. Daniel Jones looked like he's having an MVP year with the Colts. 40-6 victory there. He would be my MVP if the votes started today. Like I said, speaking of the South, Jags got their shot against the Chiefs on Monday night. We'll see what happens there. You know, the Ravens got their ass whooped by the Texans, just whooped up and down the field. Lamar makes all the difference in the world, but that defense sucks. That defense the Chiefs carved up last week, now you have to question, is the defense really just historically bad? Yeah, it is. And unlike the Lions last year that covered it up by just outscoring their opponents or next man up mentality, the Ravens seem to have completely fallen apart on defense. And although if you look at the Ravens schedule coming up after the bye, and you look at the Steelers schedule coming up after the Packers game, you see the Steelers have a whole bunch of tough opponents. The Ravens have a whole bunch of cupcakes. You could, in theory, talk yourself into thinking the Ravens are going to be there after Lamar gets back. And, you know, they'll play the Steelers twice and have their shot. And I think they'll somewhat get back in the mix. But let's be honest. I think they're last year's Bengals. They're going to come up short of the playoffs. They're just taking too many losses. They play the Rams next week. That's going to be a loss. That's 1-5 to start. I think they might lose to the Bears once Lamar gets back. That's a 1-6 start. Let's be honest. Is the team that's going to be 1-5 or 1-6 going to be able to make the playoffs? Hard to say. Probably not. Probably not. So the AFC is looking interesting as a whole. On the NFC side of things, yeah, the NFC West is still the best division in football. But today, the Bucs beat the Seahawks in probably the game of the day. Just an offensive shootout. Bucs won 38-35, last second field goal. Baker Mayfield, Sam Darnold, they resurrected their careers, just like Daniel Jones and Mac Jones are resurrecting theirs. But first time in NFL history that two quarterbacks combined for over 325 yards apiece and over 80% completion in a single game. That's nuts. That's completely crazy. But Bucs stole the win there. That hurt me because I had Seattle in the game, but it was really a pick'em contest. You could make the argument for Baker MVP, maybe. His late game heroics have won the Bucs each of the games they've won this year. I still think Seattle's a viable team in the NFC. NFC West is really good. You got the Rams and the 49ers as well. In the North, the Lions rolled. Bengals look like ass. They look like trash. They need to get a new quarterback in there. They need to trade for somebody immediately. Jake Browning's not working. It's not going to work. They need to call Russell Wilson. They need to call the Giants for Russell Wilson. I know that sounds crazy, but fuck it. They need to do something. And then, yeah. And when it comes to the NFC East, like I said, Eagles took a loss today. Washington took a win. So we're still alive for Washington to possibly win the East. We'll see. We'll see. Washington might be okay now. Jaden Daniels is back. Cowboys look great. They got an offense. They definitely have an offense. We know that. They're playing the still winless Jets, the only winless team left in the league. So overall, a great day for football. There was a lot of blowouts, but there was also a lot of close games. But my big takeaway is going to be the Patriots' victory, for sure. It was well earned. It was well deserved. It was a long time coming. I'm going to be gloating about it and thinking about it all week long. And I can't wait to see what's next. Alright guys, well that's it for this video. This is RJ signing out. Have a good one.